Hi guys, thank you so much for coming back to join me for the second part of my blog or vlog about how I'm feeling with my chronic disease. I'm sure there are so many of you with other chronic illnesses, diseases that can relate to this in some way. I've actually come up to bed this afternoon because my leg's hurting, my hands are really hurting, which is actually a new symptom for me. So I thought this would just be the perfect time to read the second part, and I hope it might put a smile on your face. You might be able to relate to it in some way. Oh wow, but you look really well. How many times have I heard that? Which is great, because who would want to not only be physically or emotionally ill, but also look like they were on death's door? But honestly, some days I thank God that I do have my walking stick with me, so people can see and believe me. I've had this reaction for years. I've walked into A&E not being able to breathe, telling me there was no way I had it. Of course, bloods were fine, statistics were fine, oxygen looked fine. I told you I was special. It was only until they listened to my breathing and looked at me as a person who knows her body rather than a statistic did they believe me. I was in hospital for 2 weeks. My favourite is when we've been away and I've had to wake my husband in the middle of the night, telling him how sick I am, how that I can't breathe, that I really need a doctor straight away. And each time he replies, "There's no one there now. We have to wait for the morning." Cue to finally screaming enough for him to call reception and being blue lighted off in an ambulance with all the family. By the way, that definitely goes down as one of the girls' best holidays. I've missed my husband's birthday the last few years, as I've either been in hospital or I've been too sick to go out. Not that he minds. He's not a big one for birthdays, except his 40th, which is a whole other story. But I mind. For him, for me, and for our kids. I've had to tell them the night before his birthday to send their daddy to bed so I could tell them where I had hidden all the decorations, all the presents, so they could decorate the lounge and make it special. Someone tell me, how is that fair on them? They're children. In the early days when we had kids, we were that really unlucky couple that had not one but 2 babies who didn't sleep, except on an aeroplane, and then they would sleep like babies. At that time, I was on such high steroids for my chest and sinuses. I was flying high. I was living on coffee, and I was your gym at 6 a.m. and bolognese made by 7:30 a.m. type of gal. Oh, how the tables have turned. Now I can't get enough sleep. Part of that is the medication, and the other part are the lesions on my brain. Did you know that for every attack or active inflammation or trauma that occurs on the brain, it takes a year each time to recover? I didn't. Whoever this girl is, it's not me. I always had a saying when anyone asked if I was tired and how was I managing with no sleep, I would just reply, "Oh, I'll sleep when I'm gone," because I honestly felt that way. And I didn't want to miss out on the day and a full day of doing things, working, popping out here, there, being around for the kids. I was always an early riser, even as a teenager. But now I seem to need more sleep than ever. And I need to plan my arrangements by balancing my days out with rest and sleep and work. This isn't me. I'm not sure anymore who I am or who I'm becoming, but it often scares me. since lockdown, my husband and I started having sleepovers with each of our children separately, so that we had special time with each of them. From me crying and begging them to sleep when they were little, I cherish our sleepovers every week. The exception being I can't stay awake till 10 p.m. and at 8:30 I want to snuggle up with them and sleep to some meditation music, to which they look at me like I have horns growing out of my head and say, legit, no, and then get me to do some wind down yoga video on YouTube. Well, that's great, but I can't do the down dog position or the cat or the cow because I have to be careful with my head. And quite frankly, whilst I'm all up for exercise and stretching, I certainly don't need to be looking through my legs at that time of night, as I know I will fall over. When the kids were little, I cursed the fact they never slept. When they slept with us, my husband and I would have many an argument over it. Good cop him, bad cop me. And his answer would always be, Natalie, they won't be sleeping with us at 16. And I always said the same thing. You bloody better hope they don't want us in bed with them on their wedding night. But the truth is, I cherish every Friday and Saturday night just so I get that time with them before it's too late and they don't want to do it anymore. I get so much comfort from it, and I'm finally beginning to see that they need it to feel safe with me and know that I'm okay, even if I'm not. In such a short space of time, they have seen way too much for a 9 and 11-year-old. It's an upsetting situation when my daughter, Summer, who's 11, is the one who checks if I have my walking stick with me before I leave the house, because I keep forgetting it. Tells me to slow down and sit and have a rest when walking's too much. Tell me, when did the roles change? So that was the second part to my journey. That one did involve my children, Summer and Lacey. And as for many people with families, it affects the whole family. So I'm sure at some point I'll get them on, because they will completely have their own set of views. But I hope that someone can relate to that. Someone can feel the same. If it just helps one person and it puts a little smile on their face, that's all I really wanted from this, to raise the awareness, for people to understand it a bit more. I had no idea that lesions, anything to the brain, would take a year or more to recover. So there are lots of things that I'm still learning. But my feelings are very much my feelings. So I really hope you continue to follow and you can join me as I continue this. And I hope you have a bit more of a better day than I'm feeling right now. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.